Welcome to These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. And guys, it is that time of year, that very special time of year. Yes, Grand Prix finals, junior and senior Grand Prix final. It is where the best of the best over the Grand Prix season come to fight it out, starting with our little baby monsters. Every year, I say the same thing. I'm not going to become emotionally invested in juniors because juniors always destroy me. I always become emotionally invested in someone, and then 2 years later, they disappear, they retire. But every year, there's just a few skaters that just kind of sneaks in there right under my nose. And this season was no different. There were just so many wonderful little skaters that I could not help but become invested. Now, starting with the Junior Grand Prix finals, I'm going to start with the pairs. Because honestly, I'm the least invested in pairs this season out of all the other disciplines. So for pairs, unless there's a complete disaster where both programs are completely botched, we more or less know who's going to win the gold medal and the Grand Prix finals for the juniors and pairs. What we're really going to be discussing is really going to be the silver medal and the bronze medal. Now, out of the six pairs that are competing, for me, the top three to be on the podium would be the Georgian team, Anastasia, Meltonkina, and Luka Barilova. They will, I would probably say 99.9% win the gold here. Then I feel like the silver and the bronze is probably going to be between the Canadians, Martina Arino Kent, Charlie Lambert Laurent, and then probably the Ukrainians, Violeta Serova and Ivan Kobat. Um, Out of those three teams, well, first let me talk about the other teams that I don't really think will make it to the podium. There's the Canadian, so there's three Canadian pairs, one American, one from Georgia, and one from Ukraine. I honestly think in last place will probably be Jasmine Desrocher and Kieran Tasher. They're the most inconsistent out of the top six teams. They're the ones who tend to make the most mistake on their elements. So for me, if everyone comes in there clean, I definitely would put them in sixth place. They also don't have top grade elements on top of not being very consistent. But we have not seen these pairs compete in a while, and people are able to make really good progress in a short amount of time. But for me, they're definitely in sixth place. Then in fifth place would be the other Canadian pair, Ava Kemp and Yohatan Elizarov. 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 I hope I'm saying that right. Um, they do have some nice element, but again, the inconsistency. All of these pairs, except for one, have side by side issues. Sometimes the throws are on, sometimes the throws are off. The lifts sometimes don't are not completed. And so I think element issues is also going to probably play a role in keeping Ava and Jonathan off the podium. Um, then in fourth place, I have Olivia Flores and Luca Wang. I like this couple. There's something very sweet and very cute about this couple. Yes, all of the elements are under development. You could tell, they're just now starting to blend. They're at their baby step level. But I see the potential. They're a very cute couple. Probably my favorite couple in this competition would be Violeta Serova and Ivan Kobat. This team has such beautiful lines, such beautiful lines. They have elegant balletic lines that match each other. And they have first rate elements. When their elements are on, they're beautiful. Yes, not all of the elements are up to senior levels, but they don't have to be because they're juniors. But they have a good twist when it's on. They have a good throw when it's on. They're musical. They make a beautiful picture on the ice. For me, this is my favorite pairs team in the juniors right now. I'm looking forward to see them grow. I think they have so much potential. Um, the only team that I feel that may be able to challenge them for that silver medal, and this is a question of consistency, of being healthy, no injuries. For me, that would have to be Martina Areno Kent and Charlene Lambert Laurent. They're very aggressive. This is a very aggressive team. They know what they want. They go for it. All of the elements, they are never shy about their elements. They go for their elements 100%. And while they do not have the refinement and the lines that Violetta and Yvonne have, they do have the power and determination. And I think that might play a factor in the difference between silver and bronze medal. There is something to watch out for this team as they grow. And of course, the winner here are going to be Anastasia Meltonkina and Luka Berilov. I'm not a fan of this team. I think I've made that amply clear. I didn't like the way him, the coaching staff, his team handled his last partnership. Um, the way the way they handled that wasn't very nice. I also don't like the fact that they're both senior skaters, and by that I mean in their previous partnership, they were both competing at the senior level. And I feel like they could have done senior B competitions this season and get that qualification, go to Europeans, then go to Worlds. I didn't feel like they needed to do the junior Grand Prix and crush all these juniors. I don't see the reason for it. Now, having spoken my piece about how I feel about some of the actions, I can still describe what I think their potential is as skaters. They have some really good elements. Their twist is good, their throws is good, they have really good side by side jumps, they have good speed, they have awful programs, but their skating skills are not bad. Their this team has potential to easily be top 10 this year at Worlds, and next year probably easily be top 5, and then the following year probably on the podium. They have that potential because their elements are solid. I personally do not like the fact that they're in juniors. They will win this competition unless there's a complete disaster, and I think they're going to have a bright future in the senior level. So that's my take for the pairs. Now for the men. Oh my goodness. Men is really, really difficult for me because I'm invested in so many of these men. For me, I feel like the most consistent, technically consistent would be Ryo Nakata from Japan. He's got a good handle on his quattro. He's got a good handle on his triple axel. He has a good handle on his spin, a good handle on his jump. He's not the most musical. He's not the most flexible. He's not the most performative, but there is something adorable about him that's just all that go-getter. He needs to dig deeper into the ice and get that nice push off that most Japanese skaters have. He skates a little too on top of his blades right now. He needs to dig in and sink into the ice a little more. But in terms of like technical prowess, if he can come out and he can skate the way he's capable of skating with his quad, with his triple axel, given how consistent he is, I think he would win this. I would love to see Juyeon Lim win this. He is so adorable. I love to see him and his coach in the kiss and cry. I think they are like the best thing in junior men's skating right now. I am 100% a fan. Now, again, not as consistent. He is not as consistent. Sometimes the short doesn't work the way it's supposed to, and then he has to come back in the long and he has to fight. And sometimes, even if you fight in the long, you just don't have enough to really make it on the podium. So he needs to be consistent here and he needs to have two clean programs in order for him to really make some kind of impact. But oh my God, he has so much personality. There is something I like about this skater. He's got really good sound technique. He's got a good glide. He's got good knee bend. Sometimes the spins are a little out of control. I don't know what's going on. He needs to work a little on his spin, but he does not need to work on presentation. He is giving you everything on the ice. And when he goes into the kiss and cry, he is also giving you everything in the kiss and cry. I really like this skater. There's something very light and effortless about his skating. I definitely think he's going to make it on the podium. For right now, I have him in the silver medal position, but he could easily win the gold medal as well. We just have to wait and see what happens. But I do enjoy him and his coach in the kissing cry. They're one of my favorite. In third place, I'm gonna I'm gonna put Adam Hagara. He's competed a lot this season. Some of it has been very good, some of it not so good. But he's gained a lot of experience competing both on the junior and the senior circuit. And what I do want to say is this is a very well-rounded skater. He's got good spins. He's got good musicality. He's got beautiful lines. He's got good jumps when the jumps are on. And if everything could come together for him just right, I can easily see him getting on that podium. So for now, I have Adam Hagera in the third place as my bronze medalist. In fourth place, I want to put the American Daniel Martinov. Now, not the most well-rounded skater out there. I would say there's a lot to be worked on, the spins, the speed, the edge. But what I will say is technically a very sound skater, very strong skater, good core, nice posture. I feel like this is a skater who could end up on the podium if the other skaters make mistake. I think that tech score will take him there because whenever a skater can technically deliver, whether or not they're actually performing, whether or not they're hitting their elements, the judges will still give them that PCS score, even though if they're not doing all the requirements for the PCS. So I feel like if he can come out there, be clean and be technical, the judges will definitely go with him in terms of the PC and the rest of it. Then in fifth place, I want to put Francois Piat. Again, another skater that's growing. Competed a lot this season, both in the junior and in some of the senior Bs. He's very passionate. He's very French. When he's in that kissing cry and he doesn't perform well, you know it. When he performs well, you know it. Very emotive, very expressive skater. Very inconsistent skater. You don't know if you're going to get a brilliant Francois or if it's going to be a little bit of a messy Francois. We just don't know what's going to happen. And that has always been the excitement about the French skaters, the unknown. He could be on the podium, he could be last. That is how unknown it is. And then in last place, I have Young Kim, another very nice young skater coming out of South Korea. He's not as expressive as his, countrymen. He's not as emotive, not that big of a personality. He's more of a quiet, somber skater, but again, beautiful edges, nice speed, good control. Another skater who could be on the podium if the other skaters don't come and deliver and he happens to have a breakthrough moment. Anyhow, I feel like the men is probably the most open field out there when where any of these young men could actually go home with a medal or any of them could be left off of the podium. And it kind of depends on how they perform. And then ice dance. I am really looking forward to the ice dance. And the reason why is because the top three ice dance team look so promising. So definitely Leah Neset and Adam Makalov, the judges seem to really like them. They're really being pushed at the front as the front running ice dance junior team this season. And I like them. There's nothing wrong with this team, but they don't speak to me. I will be honest. And that's not to say they won't speak to me. It's just that their programs this season, they doesn't speak to me. They don't really move me. There's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly lovely skaters with beautiful lines, beautiful music. They just haven't hit me on that level yet. But they've definitely done it for the judge and the fans. So they're definitely being pushed and they're definitely a favorite to win this. And then we have the Germans, Daria Grem and Mikhail Savetsky. They're very quirky. This is a very quirky, very interesting, sort of out of the box team. Then they're not that balletic. They're not putting out the balletic program in the way that we used to it. They do have a very unique view on what it is they want to present, and it's kind of interesting. And I want to know how they grow with that. Will they be able to retain that little unique quirk to their personality? But my favorite team is the team from Israel. Elizabeth Tachenko and Alexei Kilikov. Oh my goodness. I am invested in this team. First of all, they made so much progress from last season to this season. Second off, she is everything. She is the diva of the Junior Grand Prix this season. And you know I like my skaters with a little bit of flavor. And she has that. Oh my God. She knows what she is worth and she wants it. She is demanding it for the judges. I have her in third place only because I don't think the judges are ready to go with this team yet. But for me, they're the gold medal. I really like both of their program. In that free program, they are giving you everything. It is over the top in the best, most delicious way possible. They are fabulous. They look good together. They have beautiful lines. They have interesting, position. There's definitely a sense of view. They have a point of view. There's something they're trying to say and they want to say it and they're fighting to say it. I'm really into this young, team. And I think for me, they would be the gold medal. But I think they're probably going to get the bronze here because I don't think the judges are that invested yet. But they will be. And then in fourth place, I think probably, I would say Maria Pinchak and Mikhail Pogorilov. Um, they're a very aggressive team on the ice. They they're definitely fight. They're definitely a fighting type of team. They're the kind of team if they make a mistake, they come right back and they keep fighting. Again, there's nothing wrong with this team, but they don't necessarily speak to me. Um, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Now, I am putting Yalin Pedersen and Jeffrey Chen in fifth place. And the reason being, I feel like the judges would put them on the podium in a heartbeat. However, all season they have not had one clean competition. And again, that has a lot to do with the fact that this is a brand new pair. They are a brand new pair. As you know, Jeffrey Chan was skating with his other partner. They were skating in seniors, but now he got this new partner, and she's never really competed in ice dance before. This is completely new to her. So they went down to juniors. In that instant, I understand where one person was in senior but another has never competed before because of their age, they came down to junior. Not both having been in the senior competing and now they want to come back to junior. Sorry, had to rant a little. But yes, so, I think the judges would put them on the podium if they would just give the judges a reason to. Again, Jeffrey Chen is one of the best male ice dancers out there. Extension for days. His posture, his glide, his knee bend, his edge. Like, just watch him take an edge and see how smooth and effortlessly he pushes off. He's just beautiful to watch, just long, balletic lines. And then now he has this new partner, and I kind of feel bad because no matter what she does, she's always going to be compared in a partnership where she's going to be seen as the weaker of the two partners. But I still think there is so much potential in this pair if they could just have a clean program. If they could have two clean programs. If they could have two clean programs, I could easily see the judges putting them on the podium because the judges obviously want to put them on the podium. But they have to keep on their feet and skate cleanly. I'm not crazy about either of their programs. They're not memorable. There's nothing I'm like, wow, this is amazing. They're not offensive. They have two serviceable program, which is sad because Jeffrey Chen is the kind of skater that you want to give something fabulous to, not just serviceable. But hopefully, as they grow, as they mature, as they blend into one unit, their team will learn more about them as skaters, as individual, and they'll start choreographing programs that are more suited to their skills and their talent. Because I think this pair has potential, and if given the right music, they could go far. And then in sixth place, I'm putting Selena Farjit and Jean Han for Merckx, the young French team. I like this team. I like this team. They're well balanced. Neither one of them is an exceptionally strong skater, but neither one is an exceptionally weak skater. They're really well matched. They balance each other out. They have really, you know, interesting programs every season. They grow every season. For me, I feel like this is going to be a slow and steady win the race kind of pair. Like they're not the front runners, they're not the favorite, they're not the team that we're rooting for right off the bat, but every season they're there slowly making their way up. And I feel like that's probably going to be the path for this team, the slow and steady path. Now we get to the marquee event. Of course, I'm talking about the women, the young women, the baby monsters, the little destroyers. Oh my God, these young ladies were killing me this season. Oh, every competition. I was devastated. I was elated. I was bipolar. I didn't know where to be. And then finally, now, after so many competition and so many fabulous skaters not making it, we narrow it down to the top six. Starting off with the sixth place. I feel like, given the competitive field that we are seeing, in sixth place is going to be Min So Kwan. But even though I'm putting you in sixth place in this competition, Min So, you are first in my heart. I am so invested in this young skater. Oh my goodness. This skater is everything you think about performance. This is the skater I think of. She's emotive, she's musical, she's giving you face for days. She's into whatever character you give to her. The Bollywood, she is giving you Bollywood everywhere. I honestly feel like somebody needs to cast Minso Kwan as the young heroine for some kind of K drama. I will watch all 1632 episodes of it. Sign me up. This is a young star in the making. However, technically speaking, in terms of her jumps, in terms of the spin levels, in terms of her speed, in terms of her edge control, she's just not there yet in comparison to the other young women that she will be going up against. Having said that, that does not mean she's not going to get there. This young woman's potential is limitless, and I'm so invested to see how she grows both as a performer as well as technically. Because right now they're all so tiny, they haven't hit puberty yet. We don't know what that change is going to bring about to their jumps. So I don't want to limit any of their potential. But in terms of performance, Minsu Kwan is always number one in my heart. In terms of where I think she's gonna land, I'm gonna put her in 6. But you know what? You never know. Why? Because this is figure skating. The ice is slippery, the blades are thin, and whatever could happen will happen. For all you know, my baby Minso Kwan could just find her way on that podium. But statistically, for now, I have her in 6th place. In 5th place, I have Yoon Sung Kim. Now, yes, Yoon Sung Kim is coming in here with the triple axel. However, she has to land the triple axel cleanly. And she does sometimes get under rotations, cues, and edge. So she also has to combat all of that. Otherwise, another lovely skater, nice speed, good edge. She can work a little on the presentation, a little more on the emoting. But again, they're so young and their potential is so limitless. However, for now, I have Yoon Sun Kim in 5th place. Now, we're getting closer to the podium, and guys, it was so hard for me to decide on this bronze medal. I kept going back and forth between Rina Uzano and Amni Nakai. I kept going back and forth and back and forth. I really don't know. I'm just going to take a guess, and I'm going to say I'm going to put in 4th place Amni Nakai. The only reason why I'm putting Amni Nakai in 4th place and just slightly off the podium is because of her inconsistency. The jumps are good, the spin is good, the skating skill is good, the speed is good, but she doesn't always deliver 100%. There is not always that consistency in her skating. And for me, that is the difference between making the podium and being slightly off the podium when you're competing in a field that is as deep as this current field. So I'm going to put Amnikai in 4th place. And then on the podium, I'm going to put Rina Uzarno. This is a really well-rounded skater. Jumps are good. Spins are good. Speed is good. Edge control is good. Presentation is good. Emoting is good. Yes, there is still a lot of room to grow. There is still a lot of room to grow. There's still the opportunity to become more and more consistent. However, this skater has potential. This skater, when she steps on the ice, your eyes are drawn to her from the start of the program to the end of the program. There is something there. There is a little fighter there. And I cannot wait to see how she grows in the future. Now, even though I would like for it to be a really tight battle between the silver and the gold, having seen all the competitions this season, having also seen the recent South Korean ranking competition, as well as Japanese junior nationals. I'm going to put Jia Chen in second place. I'm going to give her the silver medal. And the reason why is nothing to actually do with Jia Chen. Jia is a lovely skater, beautiful jumps, nice height in the air, speed, ice coverage, just an elegant, effortless looking skater. Her spins are beautiful. Her step sequence is wonderful. She's musically inclined. I feel she needs to skate a little more open. I always say there's two types of skaters. There's the skater where you watch them and you almost feel sort of like a voyeur because they're doing a closed performance and you're peeking into that performance. And then there are skaters who are open skaters where they invite you into the skate with them. You know, you're taking that journey with them because they've opened up that skating to you. For me, Gia is still more of a closed performer. She hasn't invited us as the audience to come in, and that's probably because she doesn't really know how to fully open up as an artist yet. Again, she is a very young skater with so much potential and so much pressure. Like, I can't even imagine the level of pressure that she's under. And I feel like that is preventing her from fully connecting with the artistic side of her skating as she is trying to maintain the technical side. But regardless of that, she is such a beautiful, light, effortless skater to watch. And I'm not saying she doesn't have a chance at the gold medal. Again, it's figure skating. Anything can and will happen. She definitely has a chance at the gold medal. I just feel like more realistically, this will be a situation of her winning the silver medal here. Um, because I've looked at the scores and all season the judges are just not giving her the scores that would warrant for her to take that gold medal position. But then again, you never know. The judges are fickle. They are fickle. So you never know. For now, I have Gia in the silver medal position, but you never know. And of course, the gold goes to none other than Mao Shimada. This is an open skater. This is an open skater. She is skating for the audience, to the audience, with the audience. She is fully inviting us into the journey to skate along with her. And that for me is the edge that Mao has over Gia, is her openness, her inviting the fans into her performance. Now, my issue with Mao, and not necessarily with Mao, but just with her skating team, is the fact that they keep doing that quad toe and that triple axel. And I want them to just let her body grow, let her body mature, and then add in those difficult elements. They do not have to add them now. It's not necessary. Mao is such a beautiful skater, technically, emotionally, presentationally. She doesn't need the triple axel and the quad right now. She needs for her body to grow, for her body to adjust. But they keep putting it in that long program. And I feel like maybe if Mao, God forbid, falls on that quad in that triple axel and Gia has the skate of her life, this may be the difference. This may be that event where the judges go with Gia over Mao. I honestly think she should just, even if she does the triple axel, take out the quad, skate the rest of her program, and let's see, how it goes. But so special. Her edges, she goes up in the air and comes down effortlessly. It is light, it is beautiful, it is gentle. I am such a fan of Mao. I feel like she's named after a legend, and she may very well become a legend herself. And I cannot wait to see how her journey progress. I am so invested in so many of these young women. I feel like the junior level is so blessed with so many talented young skaters that I pray that these skaters are protected, they're properly guided so that they can make a transition into senior and have a long career, because we do not need disposable winners. What we need in figure skating are long lasting champions that we the fans can get behind, that fandoms can be built around, and that can return the life back to figure skating that has been slowly been bleeding out over the last 10 years plus, as we exchange one winner for another, and they all become faceless nothing. I'm hoping that this next generation is guided and we can finally have generational champions like we used to. But anyhow, that is my take on the Grand Prix finals for the juniors in all four disciplines. But you guys, please let me know, how do you think it is going to play out in the junior Grand Prix final? Let me know. Leave me a comment below.